y'all. We are back with another dense update. This update is sponsored by Biomax Peptides and Herd Athletics. Here we go. Well, it was a busy competition weekend. Age Group Masters was going on in Columbus, Ohio. Taylor and Bryson were there coaching several athletes. They jumped on a couple of podcasts. They did one with Wod Prep's CJ Palma and Claire Bays. Talked a little bit about Sentinel training, and they also talked about Mayhem.
CrossFit better be very careful with who buys. Then if Mayhem has 4,000 affiliates,
right,
and they can just pull the plug,
right.
That would,
for sure.
That would scare me a bit.
Very interesting there with all of the rumors circulating about new owners and things going on at Mayhem. We'll talk about Mayhem in just a second, but so many great stories coming out of the Age Group Masters. I saw a video on IG of Graham Holmberg's dad talking about, following his career. And then I keep up with Kristen Panchek, so I was following along her stories and watching kind of their lives through the CrossFit Games with all the kids, and it's just chaos and a mess everywhere, and they're coloring people's hair and playing with toys while Scott's recovering between events. I mean, this is real life. Masters are a large majority of the community. An affiliate owner and coach that I've kind of connected with over Instagram, Megan Apostolaros, she owns an affiliate up in Canada. She's a coach. Really funny. If you guys don't follow her on IG, you need to follow her. Congratulations to all the age group winners. Scott Panchek finally winning his first CrossFit Games. I saw Miley Wade won the 16 to 17-year-old division. The full leaderboard is on competitioncorner.net. I know that Glidestyle Media also had a series of posts on his Instagram showcasing the winners in each division. I also made a post about prize money, estimated prize money based on obviously open participation. Now, Tyler and Bryson did have some critiques for the Age Group Masters.
That's the problem with it. It's not the fact that they changed it from axle bar to normal bar. That change isn't the issue. It doesn't really...
It's that they didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to do the axle bar, but it's the fact that that just proves they never tested the workout.
If you're going to threaten to tow cars in the vendor parking lot, actually do it, because you didn't tow mine.
Do it.
If you haven't seen any of the action and you want to go get caught back up, you can find that on Pit Media's YouTube channel. And then the live show recap with Sevan is on this channel. I spent the weekend at BCS, which is Bryan College Station, Texas. Our gym usually brings a lot of athletes. This was our biggest year. We had 12, 13 teams there competing. That's the competition that Rich Froning, Angelo DiCicco, Rory McKernan compete in every year. Rich does all the programming for that. That event is put on by Charlie Lima. Dave Castro even talked about this a little bit in his weekend review. He stopped by on Friday.
But from the short time I was there, the vibe and the people I met, the affiliates, the community, it was really powerful and it was really cool. It's definitely that type of event is... We should have been from a long time ago. We should have done stuff like that.
There was a Q&A before the final event of the weekend with Rich, Angelo, and Rory. And somebody did ask him about the future of CrossFit. And I'm sure by now you've all seen the podcast on CrossFit Mayhem. They had hired Austin Malleolo. We had heard rumblings of this at the games before he even made the announcement. And this goes back to what Taylor was talking about. Since Mayhem has hired Austin Malleolo, he was the director of affiliates for quite some time. I think that makes a major statement. Now, he's not waiting around to see what happens. I mean, we could still be months away from the transfer of ownership.
I don't know. And I don't know if we want to continue to attach ourselves to something that we have no say whatsoever in either, what's the beauty of what we do here is, I trust my team to make the right decisions. I'm heavily involved in those decisions, but we kind of control our own destiny for the most part at this point. I mean, 100% are we using Greg's methodology of CrossFit? Well, that will never change. Not any way, shape, or form. The model has been built. It's already there. It works.
We've heard that the bids have closed, that a lot of due diligence has to be done. I mean, they still got to be able to pony up the money for CrossFit. But Mayhem is pressing on. Nothing changes for them. They're just going to keep collecting affiliates in the community who share in their values and love for faith, family, and fitness. We'll see what Austin can do for Mayhem. Now, the Will Morad Friends League is having their second tour stop this weekend in Mesa, Arizona. The Barbell Spin recently reported Jeffrey Adler was dropping out due to injury. And then they also reported yesterday that Haley Adams has also withdrawn. He mentioned in that article that the press release sent out by the WFP did not include Haley's reasons for withdrawing, and I haven't seen anything yet on her Instagram about it. Now, I heard from a very credible source that the WFP has sold far less tickets than even at Indianapolis. And if you'll remember, I was there all weekend. The crowd was okay on Friday, maybe 500. A lot more people on Saturday, maybe 1,000. But then Sunday, same as Friday. If they haven't even sold that many tickets, it's not going to be a great look. I mean, they can black out the audience all they want on the live stream. We got boots on the ground. We're going to know how many people were there. I saw the little media team, Brian Friend and the other guy posted a story of them walking into the venue. They did also post that they have added the feature to rewind and pause to their live stream, which is still going to be hosted on their website. It will not be on YouTube, which I get it. They don't want to get hammered in the live chat. This is the soft, easy, relaxing friend project. But if you're interested in watching, you're going to have to look for that on the World Fitness Project's website. And finally, Dave Castro's most recent weekend review. He talked about attending both BCS and the age group games. Talked about the programming, that the team did give some feedback, but he has heard some complaints about that. And then he got into some comments. Somebody asked him if he would ever let Hiller come do a day in a life with Dave, and that was a hard and fast no.
At Anthony Pot 2257, would you ever let Hiller come do a day in the life with TDC? Nope.
However, Sevi, on his review of the weekend review, doesn't think that that's true.
I don't believe that. I think he would. I think he would let Hiller do a day in a life.
And then right at the end of the review, just when you thought it was over, Dave said this.
I saw that Hiller started this daily review or weekly review, like a news update. I don't know what's going on there, but Dents from that same Sevan world, same Sevan team, she already does that. So I don't know if Hiller is just trying to take her momentum or see, because she's doing great. Dents is gaining a lot of attention, a lot of views, and it's actually, if you want to just kind of be updated on what's going on in CrossFit, go look at her page, and she throws up updates that aren't just the thing about what Hiller does. It's just like mostly his opinion and his fucking rants and shit. I don't care what he thinks 99% of the time. So if you just want to see what's going on or want to see things that are happening, Dents does that. But Hiller recently started the same thing. So he essentially imitated, copied, or replicated what she's doing. I don't know why. I don't know what that's about. I wonder if there's a little, because I did also see he recently commented saying something she did around the Danielle Brandon stuff was stupid or dumb. He said something negative about it. The fact that he started that up and he's taken a few jabs at her, I think is interesting.
And Hiller replied to the reel that I made posting a clip from the show with a couple of bullet points. The third one being, Dave is mad that Hiller tore apart his pegboard excuse. My first thoughts about all of this stuff with Hiller was, okay, he thought the post was stupid. He addressed that in his video thereafter, saying, you know, at first he thought it was stupid, but then he realized there's a place for it. It just wasn't his flavor, which is fine by me. I never expected everyone in the space to just love everything that I'm doing. That would be fake if everybody pretended to like me. I talked about this on the live show with the Glintons the other night. They were reacting to something that they saw and they were triggered because I didn't give them the context in which they wanted. They had to figure that out for themselves, or they had to wait until I was going to tell the story, which I did. They were just very impatient and were like, we need to know everything right fucking now. And then as far as Hiller's updates, yeah, I've seen over the last couple of years that he's done updates. I think he did 4 or 5 in 2024, and then he's done 2 so far this year. And Hiller did say at the end of his video that he hopes this becomes a more reoccurring thing. But then he did also say something that was kind of interesting, and I don't know if anybody else caught.
Shoot, you're not Andrew Hiller. This isn't Andrew Hiller. It's somebody else.
And I'm sitting there waiting for him to like Scooby-Doo pull the mask off.
Don't you recognize them, Sheriff?
Why, it's Zeb and Zeke.
And it be Danielle Brandon. I don't think Hiller and I have any beef, or at least he didn't make it seem like we did. I mean, I just saw him at the games a couple weeks ago. I consider us homies. He does his things, which is no rep videos and natty or nots and athlete documentaries, and that's all amazing. What Andrew does and what I do is very different. I curse often. I got boobs. I don't censor my choice of words. And yeah, I talk about Danielle Brandon. I talk about the World Fitness Project. I'll talk about coaches, media, people, anybody in the space. You're not going to find anyone else with the balls to do that, except on this YouTube channel. He's Andrew Hiller.
Your friendly neighborhood news anchor, Andrew Hiller, out.
And me, well, I'm just
That dense bitch?